This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is...
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river.
Oh yes! A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message. I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future.
Good morning, and welcome down to Livewire. It is the 11th of June, 2024, and we're here again for another episode. This morning, we'll be having the councillors, I should say the PPPC councillors from the Mayor and City Council of Georgetown, talking to us today. Yesterday, we had quite a few lives, and mind you, I check John Singh. I tell you stop do live. That's my job. I talk to him about it, people. But yeah, yesterday we had several lives on nomination day, and PNC our nomination day, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And as you saw in my live, I was lamenting the fact that a lot of the councillors that should have been at City Hall were out there. Now, I understand it's a party event, but it wasn't the Congress. They didn't need to be there. You understand? They went to submit lists. The leader of the cluster submits the list, or whatever they do it. You understand? So the business of the city could have went on yesterday, right? So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Also, jeez, I got the video of Arvin coming in, people. We're going to watch it later. Morning to all the persons tuned in already on the live. Morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions and all those persons across the diaspora. Joseph Satar, Sunil Raghubir, Dionarain Jagdio. You, okay. Welcome. Also, guys, please share the live. I don't know what's going on with my Facebook profile, but I'm not able to broadcast from it this morning. So I'm sharing the live on my profile from the Livewire TV Facebook page. So it's on my profile, but um, at the Livewire TV page, right? Rahim Amarali Balwan, Danraj, morning to you. Nadia, Jonah, Bijan, Ganesh Bharat, Chris, Sherry Ramdai joining us from France. Sherry, bring me some croissants, please. In the Paul Narain joining us from Minnesota, Anthony Wong from France, locked in. Derek Drupal, Camille Narain from Minnesota, logged in already. Oh, I see all three of my guests here. Alan Khan, morning to you. Ram Narain Singh joining us from NYC. Mohammed Isaf. Stephanie Nelson joining us on YouTube. Welcome. You're taking a different platform this morning. Pam Singh, morning to you and Trevor, Eunice Raghubir. Salomi Suku. Ramayo Chandab Chandaban. Ramayo Chandaban. Morning to you. Shakila Bridgelal, J Queen, joining us from Pleasance. Sophia Khan, Chitra Sukraj, morning Asif Ahmad, Tulsi Ram Chedi, Philip Diabru, Rajendra Singh, morning to you. Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados, Vishnu Narain, NYC, Keith Adams, Mazo Inshan, Jasoda Budram, Deshaun Abrams, morning to you, brother. Sarah Mosley. Everybody, morning, morning, morning. And we are, oh gosh, one gone. We go in. You can come back. Anyway, without further ado, I'm glad that you guys found the live. Please give me a share. As I said, I'm having some trouble with my Facebook profile, and we have to share in some other locations. But without further ado, let me welcome on Mr. Edwin Ashby, Councillor, Mayor and City Council, former Mayor and Councillor, current Councillor, Miss Patricia Chase Green, and we'll wait for Dancing to get back here. He was here, but I think he's back. He's back. And also Councillor Dancing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for taking the time to be here with me this morning.
Good morning, Cordell.
Morning, Cordell. Thanks for having us.
Good morning, Cordell, and all the viewers. Pleasant morning to you all.
Really great to have you guys here. I haven't seen y'all face to face in a while. I saw Odwin the other day, but I haven't seen Don or Miss Patricia Chase Green in some time, and I didn't remember that they had statutory yesterday, so I wasn't there. However, we would have had Councillor Jacobs and Councillor DeArmas here recently, and spoke on the budget. So before I get into what happened yesterday, let me jump to you, Dancing, since you're the lone representative of the People's Progressive Party Civic on the finance committee. What are your thoughts on the budget? One, it's very late, and the numbers seem a little fictitious to me.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect from mathematically challenged afternoon? The numbers are fanciful, and as I said at the budget presentation, we're now presenting a budget in June. We don't have the actual figures from 2023. We don't have the actual figures of what was actually spent in 2024. But here we are presenting a budget in June with another budget due on November the 15th. Now,
Right.
I don't know how you get those figures to match to be actual numbers of what will be spent. We have the government subvention that, it's they plan to do the admin building with that $30 million or try to do it. But here we are in June. That is in no
Right.
way possible to get that done. I had advocated very strongly for them to buy a couple of garbage trucks, because we see what's going on around the city and we need those things. Those are things that we can actually help. But back
Right.
to the figures. The figures are hopeful at best. What happens is there's a lot of money collected at the start of the year through rates and taxes or otherwise. But by the end of July, the money is exhausted. Then you hear the old mantra about the government is not giving them, that the government is never supporting them. That whole nonsense, despite not having audited books for such a long time. And you know what's really strange for that is that they would not ask the government for help in say a X or Y project. They will say, "Give us the money, we can do it." And we've seen that black hole where money disappears into at the Abdul Run City Hall. So the figures are fanciful at best, hopeful at most, and unrealistic in reality.
Yeah. No, Councillor Ashby, you haven't been on this program for a while. I want to ask you something in relation to the budget as well. Now, in the budget, there was no preparation for the expenses of the council, GRA, and I think NIS as well. Now, the monies owed by the council are a little more than the council's actual budget. What are your thoughts on this?
Uh, Very much so, Cordell. As we all know, City Council for the past how many years have not had accountability. As a result of that, hence GRA, a lot of monies are owed to GRA and NIS to workers. I know we would have asked for an audit, and until now, we're still awaiting that report from the auditor, even to get the audit on hold and for us to actually go down to the books and say, well, hey, this is what is actually owed. Like we have
Right.
seen the city council and the mayor trying to do amnesty, of which that period is over. But they have no accountability. Leadership from the top sucks, so we can't expect anything better.
Yeah, yeah. No, Queen, I want to jump over here to you. You have the most institutional knowledge, I think. Well, other than the former mayor, you would have had the most years on the council. Um, from your standpoint, are the members of the PNC councillors, are they interested in executing the work of the council? Especially yesterday, with the budget presented, um, you guys had a meeting. It's usually at 2, it was scheduled for 10. And then explain to us what happened.
Cornel, thanks for having me. They are not interested. It was surely clear yesterday that the PNC councillors that represent the city of Georgetown by a majority is not interested in the city of Georgetown. The budget would have been passed last week, a very late budget with the fictitious figures.
Right.
We were scheduled to have that meeting yesterday to deal with the matters of the city of Georgetown. But lo and behold, there was apparently a nomination day at Congress Place. And the
Right.
majority of councillors, PNC councillors, 16 in numbers, decided that the best place to be was at Congress Place, not the interest of the city. So
Right.
it comes to me, oh, what a tangle web we weave when we first set out to deceive. You set out to deceive the people that you're going to serve the people. But lo
Right.
and behold, you're serving your self-interest. You're not interested in the people because we're there to look at the matters. And we're there. And as yesterday meeting, they control the council at all statutory meetings. And when it's time to adopt minutes, the mayor will call who he wants to adopt minutes. He doesn't give the councillors the authority to adopt a
Right.
minute and second a minute. Oh, adopted by Ferguson, seconded by Ford, adopted by this body, seconded by that. So yesterday, we all stood still because that's your norm at every council meeting. So why
Right.
should we now be used for your purpose? And nobody, the deputy mayor refused. She could have adopted the minutes because she was a councillor sitting at the last statutory meeting. She wasn't the chair, but she sat in the chair yesterday, but there was nothing wrong with her adopting the minutes because she was present. The
Right.
other councillor for them was not present at the last statutory meeting because they all don't come to the statutory meetings regularly. And then the other one bluntly refused, he's not adopting it. So we said, okay, if y'all want Georgia to stand still at this moment to satisfy the Congress place needs, well, so be it. And so then
Yeah.
the mayor turned up. The mayor turned up after his tour of wherever he went. And then he decided but he couldn't adopt it because he chaired the last meeting. And he couldn't get any of them to adopt it. And so he decided he'll adjourn the meeting for next Tuesday at 1:00. Again, we'll all go there for 1:00, leave whatever we do because we're always there. We might be a 5 or 10 minutes late, but the mayor is oftentimes half hours, 3/4 hours late. You
Yeah.
schedule the meeting for 1 o'clock tomorrow, and at 2 o'clock it still won't start. Right? So we are there. We are willing to work. We have been working in our constituencies. We've been doing our walkabouts. We're having works done in our constituency, but they're at a standstill, and they will continue to be at a standstill because they don't have the vision.
Right.
Georgetown is going to be at a standstill as long as it's led by the People's National Congress. It's going to be at a standstill. And you see their performance yesterday. I mean, how could we allow a city to be lawless as it was like yesterday? I mean, and they expose that kind of lawlessness in the council when they get ready and they don't have the way. I mean, the world was able to see it yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Councillor Ashby, before I get back to Councillor Singh, in your view, how does, well, I mean, in my opinion, this doesn't augur well for the business of the city.
I was totally appalled, Cordell, because like Councillor Green would have mentioned, I would have proposed that the deputy mayor, seeing that she was sitting as a councillor, not the chair,
Hmm.
approve the minutes, and I will second it. So she adopted, and I will second it, and she declined. Councillor Hines, he went dumb. Normally, he's the first to speak out. And I said to them, I
Right.
said, hey, if this how we intend to move Georgetown forward, here it is. We're working. We're willing to work with you guys. But you guys don't trust yourself. It
Yeah.
clearly shows the division among themselves because simply adopting the minutes are minutes that all of us as councillors would have sat here and put our input to ensure we bring about that change.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
I was very appalled, and it's very, very, very um unsatisfactory to the residents and the city of Georgetown to see how the PNC is manning the city. It's not only new because if we look from then to now, the accountability, the garbage, and all these things. But how long will we continue to let the capital city run like this?
Councillor Dancing, now I want to turn to you again. Since you're the loan finance committee man, I had asked Councillor Jacobs and Councillor Diarmas about the process of preparing this budget. Now, is it a case where, since you are representing, I'm getting terrible feedback from you, Mike, the councillor. Let me try to turn it down on my end.
Right.
Uh,
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
yeah, right. So I was asking him if this was a case where the councils had an opportunity to submit. So let's take, for instance, the area council he's representing. His constituents may have set him there. This is what we want you to focus on this year or next 4 months. And he brings that to you. Do you take that to the finance committee and they incorporate it, or it's just the chair or the majority of the finance committee, they present whatever they feel is the budget? Explain to us, please.
Well, that should be what is happening, but that did not pertain. There were
Hmm.
sporadic meetings late January, February, March, where we met the department heads and we heard their requirements, their needs. I've never any time was there an invite to the constituency reps or proportional reps to what is needed in your constituency, what do you want your monies allocated for anything of the sort. We just
Hmm.
it is such a sporadic thing. So many times the figures doesn't match. I asked many questions as to the actual figures spent in 2023 to to counterbalance what was intended to be spent in 2024. And this is all
Right.
back in February and March, where we're pushing towards the very latest a March 31st deadline. And clearly by now you know that didn't happen. We ended up having a budget in June the 5th, I think.
Hmm.
So the constituencies will suffer. And as Anipat alluded to, there's no vision. There's no vision. A budget is supposed to have a vision that reflects the councillors, or even well, dare I say that what the budget does with lack of vision is represent the vision or lack of it thereof of the APNU PNC. Well, I don't know if there's any APNU anymore because see, Mr. Norton, do you recognize them? Put luck in them. Who's y'all?
Sir, what? I don't
So,
like to get in these things when I got guests, but you bring it up. Trouble.
Mr. Norton said, who's y'all? Get out, please. He recognized. So there's that. Anyways, moving forward, I tell you,
May,
that's why we're here, right? But So I don't know where's the PNC, but there's no vision, there's no long-term goals, there's no improvement for the city. And you
Right.
can ask my fellow councillors on so many occasions. I've got up and says Georgetown is expanding exponentially, it's growing beyond belief, and we're doing nothing. I mean, you can't do 1975 things in 2024 when our city is going far. Sorry, I keep laughing. I just keep going back to.
I don't blame you, brother. I was laughing.
But may I
I, you
say,
know, just
Cordell,
Go ahead. Go
if I
ahead.
may, if I may at this time, now to prepare the city budget, it is obvious there are 15 constituencies in Georgetown.
Right.
The council, along with its officers, were expected to have meetings in every constituency.
Mm.
You're supposed to have your meetings in every constituency to listen to the felt needs of the particular constituency. I'm in constituency 12.
Right.
Normally, we have meetings in that constituency. Listen to the complaints of the residents. Know what is it, what is needed. What is your priority? Roads, drains, lights, security, whatever. Then you go to constituency from 1 to 15. After you would have gathered all of that information, then you decide how you're going to sit and do your budget for in the
Right.
interest of the citizens that they will benefit from it. In this case, there was no meeting were held throughout the length and breadth of Georgetown with residents. None was held.
Wow.
And
Wow.
And you
so the
know,
budget is just what the councillors sat there. Officers would have said as a per norm what is required in the departments to do their jobs and all of that. That's
Right.
for the officers to perform the duties. Now you're
Mm.
giving the officers the time to do their budget. But the residents who they have to work for is not given an opportunity to say what is needed in there. Because
Mhm.
after you buy the equipments, all that they want, there's no money left now to go into the residents to do any works.
Wow.
and you know,
And so
Cordell,
therefore everything is at a standstill. Even
Right.
Cordell,
again,
let me
I'll go back to 2016, 2018. During that period of time, while it wasn't much money, councillors were awarded a $1.5 million in each constituency to do some little drainage or put some little lights in case a resident come and say,
Right.
look, this is a hot spot. Robberies happen here. We need a light. You would have been able to put a light there. So that's not happening now. And so
Yes.
therefore, the vision is just to, I think, multiply figures in the head. That's all they see, figures in the head that doesn't make sense. I mean,
and Cordell,
it's sad that we have to abide because whatever happens with the council, we are all councillors, but we got to stand out and speak out at all times because we are not
Right.
part and parcel of the foolishness and the nonsense that goes on. I mean, yesterday, could you imagine a mayor saying, I don't care what you do? I mean, you are the mayor of the city. How could you not care?
Yeah.
You have a right to care, regardless of what. You have a right to care. And to say you don't care what happens, that you don't lose sleep over it, is sad.
That
If you're
and
not,
perception
Cordell,
is
I
let
mean,
me allude to the
Don did the interview, and it was quite clear what was said. I mean, it
yeah.
is disheartening to know that you're putting your all into it. Look, most recently, works have been done in constituency 12. They're not even aware, they're not even interested. I would have informed the engineer to look. Um, There are 2 concrete roads being done in McDC scheme, now completed. There's a road doing at the back of Guy Hawk, which is on the way. We would have
Mm.
completed a bridge that residents complained to you about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Works are being done, but they're not interested in works. Not one single member of that council that belongs to the APNU or PNC, whichever it is, because apparently they're lost now in the wilderness. You don't know where they belong, could say in my constituency, I would have had a road done or I would have made representation to the council for something to be done. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. And
Right.
so we are lost there again for this leadership. There's supposed to be internal elections come November. I don't know if they're satisfied with the leadership. We are not satisfied, so we would not support the leadership again if there are internal elections because we know how they do with elections. But
Yeah.
I'm certain the PPP will not support, members will not support that leadership again. We're
Yeah.
going, that ship is sinking. And
Yeah.
we're going to
Let me let
try to
Councillor
save
Ashley jump
ourselves.
in here. Go
you
ahead,
know,
Councillor Ashley.
let me allude to the fact as well, councillors and Cordell. Had it not been for central government, Georgetown and the capital city would have been in a more deplorable state. I remember a few such theories back after the wharf have collapsed. We sat with the mayor and the APNU council. We said, hey, let's put together an emergency committee to look at the markets and stuff like this. On to note to today, that have not been done. Until last week, stallholders in the Sabrick market have been reaching out to us about complaints of the leaks from the market, robberies, and all these things.
I
And here
posted a
it is,
video
we
with
go
that.
to
Fabric
statutory.
market.
Yeah, we go to statutory.
Waterfall coming down on the lady. I posted that.
We go and we sit for 6 hours and we put our input, but the APNU just continue to run this like a lackadaisical administration of what they are. It's,
No,
it's very eluding.
you
Look,
spoke about
Council
the
Mason, not the Cde Courdel, Council Mason, rather than being at the statutory yesterday, he was on the front line protesting at GCOM. I would have saw that along their way.
have a
Rather
photo.
than doing what he was allotted there by his constituents to represent them, he's protesting. Why is the city and the residents feel the blunt? Yeah.
Listen, I don't know why you are surprised at that. They're doing what they know best. Protest. They're at their best. So
Councillor Singh, I want to ask you, in your opinion, what kind of legacy you think the mayor is going to leave? Mayor Alfred Mentor.
Well, my friend Alfred likes to his favorite terms. He will treat with the matter, and he treats with the matter. Sadly, no matters ever get treated with.
Stop. Did he ever treat you the report from Ghana? He ever treat that?
He hasn't treated with the Roman bill yet. The 600,000 bill from the post company.
Want to know.
So from the get go, I don't even know what he went to Ghana for. What that whole nonsense was about. I don't know who took him there with the hope that he comes back and sells some dreams to the council of a Ghanaian market here. It's not. It's you know. Alfred is under pressure from his party, maybe because he didn't win his constituency. That was won by a PvP councillor.
Stop again. You killed me yesterday when you said, Mr. Mayor, you and Mr. Diarmas are from the same constituency. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Diarmas beat you. What are you doing here? That's what you should have said. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I'm a kind soul, so I'd rather not point those things out. Yeah.
Councillor Singh, don't forget to say about the dream that they have of building these is a condominium they want to build for gas and energy.
Yeah, they want to build houses on the Bel Air field playground there, of which is a court order banning any such activities. I don't know if you saw me live yesterday, Courdel. He was insistent. Same thing again.
They talk about that a little later on.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are
fine. We can talk about
delusional.
it anytime.
It's
They're
amazing how
sad.
they condemn us when we start to do community grounds, because we're doing community grounds, especially parade grounds, ancestral grounds. But here it is, they're looking to demolish the entire playground to make housing scheme. I guess they'll all have a little condominium there.
But a former
Yeah,
mayor,
there's a standing court order.
Housing.
But the interesting of it is, as Mayor and Royce and Kingston Clark, we had proposed that you have a mayor's house. It wasn't a mayor's house for the mayor to live in. It was a house that will be able to house functions and do accommodation for any visiting mayor or guests that the council may have had. Because if we're having any guests over, we have to pay the hotel bill unless we get sponsorship and so.
Right.
And I would dare say, my dear councillor, Councillor Don and everybody, they would have objected. I had no problem with it. And then it was brought to our attention that there is a transport for the land, and there is specifics on it that it should not be any permanent structure, I think, and what have you not, but this should be maintained for a playing field and so. And so
Right.
therefore that idea was shelved. But lo and behold, while it was condemned by even them for me, because this whole idea, it was that I was going to live in this house. I don't know why would any mayor want to go to live in a house.
You done built already? What you go here and live in? You don't got a big house.
Is
Where
all
are
that
these
going
people?
on? What?
For 1 year or a 2 year. Could you imagine? But the mayor is still adamant that that is the council's assets, and we'll see what will happen. But just like the development of the seawall with the hotel, they're always against anything that would benefit citizens.
Yeah,
Anything to benefit themselves, they're happy to go with. This play field will benefit all the youths in the area. I mean, the government just spent, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture just spent money to clear that field and to do what, and to, we're preparing it now for the
After
second
deplorable play.
phase. And now
mm.
he's just decided
You know,
he's going to build houses on it. But let's see how that
yeah,
goes.
let me just jump in here. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, tell us a bit
they
about the
always have
court
these
or the
great
council thing
plans.
and that kind of thing.
Well, the court order emanated, I think, in 2017, 2018, when as Andy Pratt had said, they were going to build a mayoral house or whatever. We researched it thoroughly. Council, Devendra Kissoon took it to court and obtained an injunction preventing any such activity on that particular land. So
Mm.
to pop up 6 years later and discussing council about building houses for expats and consultations and treating with the matter, it's all garbage. It's just hot air because I mean, there's plans as well for the city constab building in Water Street to
Yeah.
develop that, refurbish it, and rent it out, which is a good idea, not a bad idea. Generate some funds for city council. But that idea was mooted 6 to 8 months ago. Not a damn thing happened. Nothing, and nothing will happen.
Councillor Singh, what about
Go
using
ahead.
there as a place, a two or three level place to house the vendors? Take them off the road. There can be an idea too.
Well,
That
well,
Colonel, is that vendor.
when you got some friends maybe lined up for the renting and stuff, that is not a good. The plight of the vendors are not important at that point. If you catch my drift, they're important when they need to use them, but when it's time to give them
Voting
a
time is
decent
when
place
they're
to
very
go,
important. At voting time is when
nah.
they're important.
Go ahead,
You
Councillor
know,
Ashby.
at voting time is when they conveniently then use the vendors. And it's appalling because, like Council Singh would have alluded to the fact that we would have made a proposal to buy some garbage trucks, rather than building, but the mayor sees it fit to finish off the building, the admin building. And here we're saying at each council, the garbage situation is in a deplorable state because of the increase of commercial businesses along Regent Street, which is a major access point in
Right.
Martin. Let's purchase two trucks, and that will relieve some of the garbage. But they see the other way. Councillor Donald have alluded as well on several occasions at the finance meeting. We said, hey, let's use the funds to do so. And they will say, yes, 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 it's a good idea. And lo and behold, that's the end of it. It's shut down there. So
Mm.
we're constantly faced with this every statutory. We go, we sit for 6 hours, 8 hours, and we put our input. And then because they have the majority, that is it. That is it. And really and truly, the buck stops with the mayor. He's the head of the APNU, he's the head of the administration. When he went in and he took that oath, he said, hey, I'm willing to work with all the stakeholders and we'll develop together. What happened? We're now actually, how much months in? Going to a year. What happened?
Mr.
We're still
Ashby.
waiting for you to work with us.
Mr.
And
Ashby.
it sometimes it triggers you. Trust me, Cordell.
Mr. Ashby, Vincent Henry is the leader of the APNU, sir. Please get it right. Please. Please, sir. Don't let nobody sue me for spreading misinformation. Vincent Henry, not Alfred Mentor. Look, it's a terrible situation.
Right.
No, this question goes to the three of you, and y'all, we'll take Councillor Chase Green, Councillor Singh, and then Councillor Ashby. Now, there are several PNC councillors on these committees. I think the former mayor was blocked from being on one of the committees based on the information that I have. Now, are these committees functioning properly? Are these, take for instance, this guy Travis Ellis, he's the head of the cemeteries committee or something like that. Very, very not smart guy. I'm gonna be diplomatic because y'all here. Very not smart guy. Are these persons functioning in terms of putting forward ideas, market committee, how we gonna deal with the market, the cemetery committee, looking for a new location for a cemetery, because as we know, La Repentier falling up again, even on the site. Are these parcels functioning properly?
Like
What are
full
your
of it.
thoughts?
If I go first, let me say, during my time and before, we would have recognized the cemetery is coming to a closure. I would have had engineer who's no longer with us, a former assistant engineer who is no longer with us, identify an area which is just behind where Sevons is on Mandela Avenue. There's a portion of land there, more to northeast, the entire strip of land to develop for a new cemetery. In during Ubrach time, it was the same thing, but they did nothing. Most recently, during mentor time, they would have looked at it to have agreed that they write the government to say, look, we want to clear this place to open a new cemetery. We have, I'm just using something, we have one excavator and one tractor trailer. Could you assist us? We need X, Y, and Z. To date,
Right.
I don't know if that letter was ever sent, if that and there was any response from the government, so we can clear that land and do it in preparation for um, more space. It would last another maybe another year or so, but in the meantime, we have to look at other places. Um, Nothing is being done. But those idea is not a new idea coming out of this council. That was an idea that came from 2016 onward, but they have done
Mm-hmm.
nothing with it. We were about to
Yeah,
do it when I was removed.
a former mayor, oh gosh, oh gosh, I saw Sherrod Duncan post something about PVP councillors bringing something to the table and lobbying the government and that kind of thing. During that period you just spoke about, you were supposed to get the support of the executive, right?
Let me say it quite clear. I've never gotten any help from them. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. There was no help from them. The only time they helped financially was when I was being removed in 2018 and I was being replaced by the new mayor that they paid off the contractors. As you would have known, when I took over in 2016, the 1st of April, all Fool's Day of most days, I was sworn in. Um, I had to get the city clean and prepared for the 50th anniversary of our independence. And
Right.
so, therefore, we had to get on our all fours and do all that we had to do. We had to get contractors. It was expensive. We had to clear the cemetery. We had to do all sorts of jobs. And so, yes, they are paying for some of those things, but the work of the council is continuous. While I
Yeah.
would have cleaned the cemetery and cleaned Georgetown, it didn't flood during 2016 to 2018 and did maintenance work. After 2019 to present day, there was no maintenance work done in the city. The cemetery is back to its normal. It's a jungle again. All the alleyways, the government is now clearing those alleyways to help us to prevent flooding when the heavy rains come. And even in constituencies, the government has gone into constituencies doing concrete roads, doing footpaths, doing drainage. The government. Because the cities has been at a standstill from 2019 to present day under the PNC, because you can't say APNU now, under the PNC, um, because they were saying, oh, she had a lot of expenses to spend the money while in this to the parking meters and all sorts of things. But being honest and being fair, I would have left a legacy of a clean city behind me. I've started to prepare places to put vendors. The Merriman's Mall, we started. During the Cricket World Cup, the president then came in and did the vendors mall, the new vendors mall, the new vendors arcade, with the hope that later on the council might be able to put a top floor to remove the remaining vendors and place them there. Lo and behold, all of those vendors are back on the streets. While they have the stalls in there, they're still back on the streets. The Stabrook Market, there was a proposal that we put a top floor to the back of the Stabrook Market where you don't disarrange or remove that historical front, but
Right.
you can have a second tier. Um, all of those things were done during my time. Those proposals were made, but we didn't have the money. Because while we were busy paying a little contract, a little 5 million here and a this there that would have done lots of jobs. When they came in, they stopped paying the contractors, they stopped doing everything. All of those matters were in court. They had to pay those matters now.
Wow.
Um, but they could still pay and do some work, right? But as I would say it again, they don't have the vision. All they could tell you, oh, we had it in mind, or we were supposed to do that. That was our plan. That's all you do. You plan in your head, but you don't put it in action.
Yeah.
The
All right,
only
let's jump over
action
to
they can do is protest about something good. That's all they can do,
well,
protest.
Come
we know
on.
that. Council B.
You know, going back to the question, Cordell, no, those committees and the persons that are running those committees, like
Those
Councillor
functions.
Green would have said, they have no vision. And it's clear. Look at the cemetery committee. Look at the cemetery today. Look at the markets committee in the progress state that the markets are in. You could check all the markets. Look at the investment committee. Councillor Don is on the finance. So we see investment. Council have a lot of assets, but if you can't find the assets register, how could we then look at how we're going to monitorize these things and put it out there? So the answer is clear. No, they have chosen the committee's only functions for themselves and their
Their interest.
cronies.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but look at
Council,
the Social Development Committee. Councillor Jacobs brought a proposal to do a, a job in the promenade gardens. To date, has that job been completed? The council said they would look at it. I don't know what's happening with it. And
Council
that's to
Singh.
fix and that's to fix the toilets for
Yeah.
the public to use.
I heard about that. Somebody tell me the toilets there in a terrible condition.
I let
Deplorable.
council Singh deal with it.
Yeah. So I think the private sector commission had offered to fix the washrooms over at the promenade gardens there, and an estimate was sent in of like 400 to 450, somewhere around there, $450,000. And the mayor decided that since it was the private sector commission doing it, well, let's go really fancy. Let's spend as much as we can. So then another estimate was asked for, and that came back at $1 million. And that estimate has stayed there, and nothing has been done. No action has been taken because the persons doing it now feel they're being pussyfooted around, or I could use a stronger word, but I think you have a PG audience, so probably won't do it.
PG.
Yeah, so the mayor and his cronies, because sometimes it's just like an act. I call them Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello or even sometimes Romeo and Juliet, where they just choreograph thing where the mayor brings up something and Councillor Hines then jumps in. Oh, that's a great idea. This well
Dum
I
dum.
think
choreographed
he's
thing.
a great
Dum dum.
pontificator.
There's no
So
need of
Ron
dum dum.
Doro, I mean, I'm like, where do you guys rehearse this nonsense? Because it's so apparent and transparent. Well, I'm going to cheer this. What do you think? Heinz jumps up. Yes, yes, yes. You're the man. You're the man. Ha ha. Why didn't I think of this before? So this long charade that goes on and nothing gets done for the. Let me impress upon the citizens of Georgetown that nothing gets done for them because they have their own agendas, personal agendas that does not include the citizens of Georgetown, and that
Yeah.
is where the problem lies. We have 11 of us trying so very hard to push in a direction that gets things done, help our constituencies. We don't go in there with aggression. You've been into the council chamber. We're always welcoming. We're always listening. We're offering solutions to situations. But when they come with preconceived ideas, it all falls to naught. I will tell you that tomorrow is, I think it's June 12th, will be 1 year since local government elections. We have PNC councillors in there who have not said a word for 1 year, other than
Warm up the
the
bench.
prayer
We just
and the
warm up the
national
bench.
pledge, and nothing
We
else for
just
one
warm up
year.
that seat.
And that's a ridiculous situation. You have to get people to elect people who want to be there. Number one, and second, have the vision, and number three, have the will and desire and the energy to do the work of the people, serve the people. That's why you go out there and ask for be elected to serve the people. But they just go out there and selected by their party to, I don't know. I think Cordell got knocked off his own show for some reason.
You know,
He seems to be coming back.
Sorry,
let me say as well,
GPL
Councillor
going
Don.
on lawless.
There are only two councillors there. When you speak about Councillor Solomon, he is adamant about working with the PPC councillors to actually bring about that positive change. But
Right,
because of that division, they have to just go, okay, this is a trump card. This is what it said, or according to the mail, I will consult my chief constable, who is Councillor Gary, and he will advise. So you do have,
right.
I do believe, because of the division among them, you do have two at least that want to really work with the people to bring about a meaningful change, but because of their leadership, clueless, they can't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
No,
just let me
because
stick in a
yeah.
minute here,
Go ahead.
Cordell. If you don't mind, very quickly, because I actually will have to run in about 5 minutes. But last week at the statutory, or I think it was the previous meeting, the mayor and the deputy mayor chastised the admin, the town clerk, and I think it was the head of solid waste management for going on social media and highlighting the issues that they face. They thought that they being the mayor and the deputy mayor should be informed first of what will be said or what will be done or what show you're going on. Listen, we don't need in that kind of dictatorship. We need with freedom of speech. The admin is separate from the councillors who set policy. And if they have issues there, they should be free to tell the citizens who they ultimately serve what is going on.
Right.
So this tight vice control, tell me where you're going, and I don't like what you're saying, and I thought it was just abusive, if you ask me, to put department heads or the town clerk under this position. You have to be able in a democracy. Well, maybe they don't understand democracy how it works. I just thought
No,
it's important that I raise that point. They will
council.
always throw
Anyone?
side remarks or innuendos that the
Uh,
admin is somehow controlled by the
no.
PPP. I mean, when asked to provide some sort of proof about this, they just they slink away to the dark corners from which they bring these ideas.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
everything that the
I
admin
just
provide
thought that was
for
super
public.
important.
But most recently, you would have heard the deputy mayor asking it when the welfare officer is going around to do her work. She should accompany her to deal with the matter. How could you? That's not your job. The welfare officer, if I want to talk to a welfare officer, I would want to talk to a welfare officer on my own. That's what a welfare officer do, have a one-on-one. Who are you? You're not
But
administration. You should
it's
know
it's
the
clear.
policy. And so
It's clear.
therefore, this management where they want to take full control of the officers must tell them when, how, where, why, and they're doing this. No, they are political. We're all political appointees in that council. The administration works according to 2801. We do the policies and they follow it. If they don't follow the policies, well, then you will have an issue which you can deal with. But you
Yeah.
can't be going in um, to find out or to sit in with a welfare officer if she's going to have a talk with somebody. That's not your duty. And so therefore that's where you find that they're going to get problems. The
Yeah,
officers will
See,
not function.
it's
those lines
clear that
can be
they're
crossed.
misguided on the 2801, because on the 2801, it's clear that the town clerk and the administration will follow suit with the main city council business, and the councillors would only advise why it's wrong that wrong table. Other than that, we must ask the town clerk, who's the head, to disseminate any information or even to speak to the administration. So we continue to see that dictatorship and that blatant disrespect for the rule of law at the end of the day coming from the council, from the councillors
No,
on the EPNU side. And hence they
no,
continue to back
councillors.
the
Just
administration
let
at
me
every event that we raise something.
And
go
then
ahead, Andre.
APNU councillors want to go into constituencies and tell residents what to do, how to do it, and that. And then come into the council and chastise the officers for not doing certain jobs. Their councillors will go into constituencies with their friends, allowing their friends to do violations in the city. But then you go after the engineer for certain things that you see done and you think the engineer is not working fast enough for you. That's not right. That's not, you're not supposed, if you go on a work site, you go on a work site accompanied by the engineer or something. Or if you're doing your walkabout and you see things, but you can't give directives on any work site.
Yeah,
You can advise a resident, look, this is a normal thing. You do an application, you send it into the engineer's department, or if it's public health or whatever. This is the the policy of the council.
Yeah.
Advise them
No,
the right way, but you
let me cut
can't give
you
them
all.
directive.
A letter was sent to me recently, or just now, from the markets department to vendors. I wasn't able to read it clearly as I'm on the mobile device right now. Do any one of you see towards that letter, its context, and what it means to the vendors?
I heard a little. I was informed by a stall holder yesterday
Let me
that
let me
they
see if
had
I can
a
get it
letter
up on
was
the
sent
screen. But go ahead.
inviting them to a meeting next week Thursday to address some concern. But that apparently was
I,
only
I
only went out to a few stall holders.
I think the
Oh,
letter that being referred to, Councillor Ashby, is the letter where they're asking stallholders to confirm or to confine themselves within the space
So,
allotted to them. Because what has happened is that sometimes vendors will take 3 feet, 4 feet outside of their stalls.
so,
You're allowed 12 inches, but sometimes people go further and farther than they're supposed to. So I think this letter is meant to align everyone. And well, I'm sure Auntie Pat will jump in 2 seconds when I say that they mean to enforce this, that to keep people within their stalls. That's the gist of the letter. I spoke to the clerk of markets, Mr. Lovell, about it, and that was the information that he passed to me. That if everybody will be kept in line, they'll be allowed 12 inches outside your stall, but that's it. But everybody will be kept in line. Auntie Pat,
right.
enforcement.
yeah, that's it. But the problem is enforcement. Again, you spoke earlier about the city constabulary building in Water Street. No, they want to rehabilitate that building and then probably rent it out. But I could recall in 1994, when we joined the council, we had 398 ranks in all, senior and junior officers. Now you don't even have 100 ranks. Where are you getting the enforcement from? We barely have ranks to man our locations. And you can see that clearly happening at Stabrook Market. During the day, if you go there now, there may be three ranks, two female and one male to manage Stabrook Market. In the night, two. Most recently, you would have had the breaking. So the enforcement is one. Unless you're going to hire people to do the enforcement, I don't know. But if you're going to use those same ranks, we're going to short on locations. We may lose more.
Hire
Yeah.
people with more money. Where the money coming from?
Well,
Tell
that's
us.
what
Well,
I'm
but that's the
Just
saying.
go
thing,
to ask. Just go to ask when you get to the
That's what
money.
I'm saying. We don't have.
We
Is
broke.
it chicken and the egg? We don't
We
have it.
broke.
We gotta hope that the collectors of the market
collectors.
enforce, and we've been having problems with allegedly with the collectors because of the charges they cost. If you got a basket of tomatoes outside, they want $5,000 extra rent and this extra rent and all sorts of things that happen. So if everybody
Wow.
keep in line, you know you gotta collect one direct fee. We have no problems with that. At
What?
Christmas time, you're allowed, you're given that leeway, but you pay for the extra 3 feet or 4 feet that you're allowed. What we
You
have
know,
to is monitoring. We don't have monitoring. Rehabilitate the city constabulary and start recruiting people and have them trained. We recruit 10 people the other day. Where were they trained? They have no idea what the constable is all about. They just fall in the job and they're going to work along,
I
but they
know.
don't know the policies of the constabulary. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, we have some weak seniors in the constabulary, very weak seniors. And so,
So I know of a young man who messaged me here, sent me his application. I think he went to the cadet course and that kind of thing, and he applied to the city constabulary, and he didn't get a favorable response at all. And I mean, that's the kind of people you need, young.
yeah.
I was not at the interview panel. I'm on no committee. I was barred from all committees. But I was on no, I was barred, not at that committee when they would have interviewed. They had advertisements out and they were interviews and they would have selected 10 persons that I'm aware of because it came in the general agenda and the council would have approved that. There were some others that they said had some difficulties. I don't know who's the young man, so I can't say if he was one of them that
I don't
were
want to call
interviewed.
his name here, but
No,
he's
you
a regular
shouldn't. You
in
shouldn't.
this program.
But I'm quite certain you can give the name to me or Don or anybody, and
So,
we can find out
yeah.
if his application was looked at.
Yeah, please
Because
send me the
if he
name,
was
and
trained as
I'll
a
do some inquiries for them.
if he was trained as a cadet officer, is somebody that we would need in the constab because we don't have those kinds of persons. We don't have
Oh,
it at a higher
I think
level. We
what
don't.
happened, they wanted him to come in as a constable, and he wasn't about that.
Mm.
Given the
He's
fact that
Ah,
he
quite
served
no,
he's quite in order.
that,
He's quite in
you
order.
understand?
no,
Yeah.
no.
He's quite in
But
order because if he's let me say it quite frank, if he's coming as a cadet officer, I mean
the skills
the
will be
most
needed. You could
the most
portray certain
senior
skills that will be
the
needed in
most
those
senior
programs.
is not a cadet officer. I'll say that much. Our most senior is not a cadet officer. How dare you ask
You
me a cadet
stop him!
officer?
Oh my goodness,
You know?
man.
And so I would agree with the young man to refuse such a position.
Yeah,
You
but I'm
know,
gonna pass this
so
information to you when I get off the program. Counselors, look, I'd like to thank you all for being here today.
Colonel,
I
just
don't
before
know
you
how
go,
it's gonna
Colonel,
be yet,
just before you
but
go, Colonel, let me
sure.
take the opportunity, as one of the counselors and along with my colleagues, to appeal to the residents, more so the vendors and the business owners along the region street, to dispose of your garbage in a proper manner. Because whilst it is that we are faced with this heavy garbage situation around Georgetown, the vendors and most of the business owners who are clearing containers will say, well, hey, give this to a junkie to go and dispose of this garbage rather than dispose of it in a proper manner or going to a bin. So I'm appealing to the vendors and the business owners around the streets to please dispose of your garbage in the right manner. Where you see bins fit, please use those bins. If it is that you have to outsource services as is, and help to ease us with the heavy garbage congestions that we are faced
Stop
with in
the
Georgia.
junkies to dump the garbage all over.
Right. I concur. I co-sign that appeal.
All right.
I endorse the appeal, and I also ask citizens to work along with us when you see us in your constituency doing our walkabout. Tell us what are your felt needs, what are your needs, problems that you have in your constituency. We as PPP councillors will continue to work with you in your constituency and try to do our best to bring a better living for you in Georgetown. While we are
Right.
stifled at the council and doing what is necessary for Georgetown, we will do it um, in our constituencies as we do our walkabouts. So look out for
In
us in your constituencies, and we're willing to listen to you and your complaints. With that being said, I would
so before you guys go, I finally just want to ask you. I don't know how many of you saw the live yesterday. Um, at Congress Place, because I mean y'all were at City Hall doing your job. But what are your thoughts on the leadership of the PNC and it remaining with the incumbent?
Complete division.
Listen,
Complete division.
multiple
Complete
divisions.
division will be my thought, my
I beg
input.
to correct multiple divisions. Multiple divisions. Not one division, those are multiple divisions.
Uh,
And I mean, we were at statutory looking at the council's business because we were interested in citizens. I mean, I went to the circus
Right,
with the Suarez brothers. I didn't think I want to go to another circus again. And so I didn't pay much interest in it because I've been there, I've done that, and I know what it's all about. It's a setup of lawlessness. We wait for the end results and we would already
right.
anticipate what that end result is. But the circus will continue. Um, and the drums will continue to beat and the blow will continue to blow and the whistles will blow with a lot of fanfare and noise and nothing being done.
Right.
All it is
Yeah.
attention seeking. They seek the attention, they get the attention, but they have nothing to give to the citizens. And they will continue to be in that position because they will be in the opposition for the rest of their lives with that kind of behavior. We don't have space for idleness. We are working. And they can see for 11 councillors in the PPP within the 9 months we're there, nearly a year we are there already, the
yeah.
amount of work that is being done in our constituencies. Let them go and see in constituency 5 and 6 what's happening. That's the fire area where the mighty Mr. Hines stands and speaks every time. Who is in
I
charge of the
almost
solid?
asked him what he could show in there by what he could show
And
he
he, but
doing.
listen to me. He is a reflection of the city of Georgetown because he's the head of the Solid Waste Management Committee.
Solid waste. Solid waste.
And so, y'all may hear me say it's a solid waste of time. I've said it. He's in charge, so I don't expect any better. But he's
Yeah.
there. But we'll continue to sound our voices in the council. We'll continue to speak out, right? Even though sometimes we're actually being ordered out of the council, or we're being said, I don't recognize you, sit down. Don't get up, sit down. And that's all
Uh,
the nonsense. But we will
let
not
me
be
say
bullied in the council.
Let me say thanks to central government for all the inputs that they have chipped in to ensuring that the residents are relieved of some of the burden that City Hall should be undertaking. So hats off to central government for chipping
Central
in.
government ministers, Vice President, Minister Anand is now about to do some stalls in the East Rhine Market to do some repairs to the stall, which is the council's responsibility.
Right.
The councillor has been advocating for those stalls that is on the verge of collapse. He have indicated that he will do some work in it, and so we will continue to do works. And in 2026, we'll be heading the council. We're quite certain of that.
Definitely. We're
Um,
confident come
Definitely.
2026.
yes, our
Georgetown will be led
confidence
by
is there
PPC.
because um, by then the residents would understand. I think they understood quite clearly yesterday after yesterday's um, performance. They understand where they're going, and they will do better in 2025. So we'll have a majority in
Yeah.
2025 win for general elections, and we go forward
In,
to
into
16 or
local
17
government.
seats in 2026 local government.
Final words from the
That's the
council thing, and
confidence
then
we
I'm gonna
have.
let you guys go back. No, I ain't got no power. GPL going on lawless.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Just you know, when they come down in the kitchen in the night, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, is a glass of water, you turn on, you're like, you see a whole set of cockroach scurrying. That was Congress place yesterday. What set of cockroaches like? Listen to me. Aubrey done set up his own coronation a long time ago. I see Amanza got Angel leading squad. I,
I was trying
That's a comic show, brother.
to avoid this thing. I see
What?
you campaign and you get them people, you get them fly and take I go sit down, tell Dan that angels with sights.
It was a circus. It was a big circus, a free shark circus show yesterday. All clowns were there. All free circus.
Oh my
Uh,
Sad
God.
affair.
That
Very, very sad. I
Very
mean,
um
sad.
a nomination.
anyway,
You
anyway,
could you
councillors, thank
imagine?
you for your time. And
They couldn't even do that
and
performance when they were going to local government elections, but they did it for for yesterday nomination. They couldn't have that performance for the general local government elections, but they did
oh
that
geez.
yesterday.
I remember local government elections at Critchlow.
Yep.
Look,
Hey,
y'all look, I'll take care. I gotta go. Thank you for being here,
no
Councillor
problem.
Ashby, Councillor.
No problem. Mm,
And please tell
It's always
Councillor
a pleasure.
Dancing I said thank you for your appearance.
mm.
Y'all take care.
It's a pleasure.
All right, you too,
Right.
Alcora.
Those are the councillors. And right now, guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to what the councillors have to say. But because of the blackout, I'm mobile, and I took an opportunity to come out here and show you guys what's going on. Now, sometime back, Ganesh Mahipal and Janice Mahipal, I should say, and Shirisha Duncan and the opposition forever guy, I can't remember his name. They came out here and they were trying to make it look front ultra wide, back dual wide, back ultra wide, back. Good. So right now, let me show y'all where we are. Let me carry you by this side. Because remember this no works ain't going on. So this is um Port Rhine, the Port Rhine area. And this is the access road that has been put in for the pump station that they're gonna be building for Janice and Williams Lion to Yard. Right? So this is the pump station that they said no work was going on at and nothing is happening and the contractor this and the contractor that and the contractor. Look for yourself. Look for yourself. Now Janice and Sharisha picked a day
The one day that the contractor was not here. You understand me? The one day they didn't work. And I was supposed to tell y'all. Y'all remember, like me on the program, they got sometimes where I would stop and go outside because I hearing rumbling outside. It's these people driving pile and doing their work. So despite what they wanted you to believe, works are going on. Look, they got the steel thing to do on the sides and the everything here. The equipment is here, and I don't know if you could see, but they got two men sitting in the excavators, right? I think they're hiding because they see a video in and stuff. You understand? But the works at the pump station here are moving forward. So despite what you might hear from members of the opposition about this ain't happening and this ain't working and this contractor and that contractor, you have the proof here, right? I don't want to go into the people them work site because one, I don't have on any safety gear. Two, I'm not a part of the business. And three, I didn't inform anybody that I was going to be here this morning. So I'm not going to, like, you see me videoing me too? Yeah, so I'm not going to be going into the work site. I'm probably going to get some permission from the contractor another day and give you a walkthrough. But you got the wood, you got the piles, everything in there, and the people working, right? So don't let anybody mislead you about any pump station and when happening and pump station and billing and a bunch of nonsense. The government is working, people. The government is working. Let me turn back this camera here now. Trouble. But right, so that's the update on the pump station there right behind me at Port Ryan. It's currently under construction at the back there. And don't listen to Janice. Don't listen to Sharisha. And you know what I'm going to start to do? When they talk about these projects, I can actually visit the project. Look. Oh, gosh. Look how many tractors the president gave away. Just driving past there. Look. President had given those tractors out at the Lenore Stadium to all the NDCs. You understand? To all the NDCs to help to manage their work. You don't think if City Hall adopt a modus operandi like the NDCs, people gonna want to work with them? You understand? But we're not gonna get that from City Hall. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here on the program. We out and about, we outside. Thank you for being on the program. See you here, same time, same place tomorrow. And gosh, we ain't got all them fancy things and stuff to click on to do. But as I normally say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. Let's see if I could pull up the music. Yeah. Right. So as I normally say, we're driving wild on this road in the morning, but yeah, as I normally say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one guy.
June made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color. When we bleed blood, it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry, we